Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. At Mint Mobile, we like to do the opposite of what Big Wireless does. They charge you a lot, we charge you a little. So naturally, when they announced they'd be raising their prices due to inflation, we decided to deflate our prices due to not hating you. That's right. We're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Be a pretty tuned up crowd tonight, Patrick.
Yes, it will. 8:40 start. And congratulations, Tom Reed, on getting. I suspect he called the league office and said, we
want 8:30.
Put us in that late time slot. We lost a lot of money during the pandemic. Damn it. Let's get things rolling out on
7th Street. Will be
7th
buzzing.
Street. Oh man, it'll be beautiful.
Okay, so the game is on.
ESPN.
Yeah, but the reason we're the late game is that on ESPN you'll have Boston at Carolina at 6.
They kick off the playoffs this evening with 4 games on ESPN or ESPN2. They got 2 doubleheaders on. I think it's the whole West playing tonight and then the East tomorrow. And then
the East plays tonight. Boston at
I'm
Carolina.
wrong. Okay, so it's 2 and 2.
Yeah.
But ESPN2 has 2 games. And I suppose if you go to overtime, they send you over to ESPNU or
The Ocho.
And Tampa Bay's at Toronto tonight. That's on tonight.
Yes.
Boston,
That'll be an
Carolina, and
interesting-
Wild St. Louis.
That'll be an interesting series. Tampa Bay with the gritty Stanley Cup champions against a Toronto team that scores some goals.
Tampa's going for the three-peat, aren't they?
I think
What's
so.
Austin Matthews got? 60?
Yeah, he's got 60.
60.
First 60 in
Years.
long time for that franchise. So, yes.
I think it's going to be fun, and I predict the Wild will win the series.
I like the Wild, too, and so do the Gamblers. They're 3-2 favorites, 150 to make 100.
Kenny, who did not have the courage to remain with us, said some horrible comments about it and then left. He doesn't think they'll win.
Here was my discussion with Judd earlier today, but I have declared this not only to be by far the greatest Wild team, but the best team in the 47-year history of NHL hockey.
Really?
In Minnesota.
The only comparison is 82-83, those 2 teams. And when you look at the records, now the league was smaller than 21 teams, so it might have been a little.
What about the 03 club that got to the Western Conference Finals?
Oh, God.
Huh?
They were a miracle.
Yeah.
That was a miracle. They were gritty, but they weren't good.
Well, you got to have grit.
Good. They weren't good. They are an example of anything can happen in hockey.
Is that the last time they've had home ice? When they've lost to the Duck? Because they lost games 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, all the time in the none of those series were. They won the division here one year.
Oh, you think you're right? Yeah, I think you're right.
They won the division here. So remember, we had a big flag waving for the winning the division after they got beat in the playoffs.
This club's different, though. This club's
This
club's big league.
And Guerin they're big league offensively, and then Guerin did a great job of making them a little tougher too. They'll fight you.
Yep.
Foligno will fight you. And now Foligno's looks like he's coming back.
Yeah.
Going to play with the sprained knee.
And that was called a season-ending injury the other night, maybe. And I was so relieved to see he was skating yesterday.
Yeah. I think he's a guy that,
Keep me up.
Yeah.
Take me up and
Take
get me out there.
And if you got a little something that can get in through a needle, we'll take that too. This is hockey, baby. This is hockey. And so, yeah.
Why were you in Washington?
A
family deal?
Niece Adrian's baby shower.
I'll be damned.
They had the baby shower for couples. They had the couples. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Did you bring him a toaster or something like that? Or?
I don't know. The wife bought him, I don't know. She got some nice stuff.
Yeah.
They got, you know what? You should go to a baby shower.
I don't want to.
They got some crapola to give the kids babies now. You know about it.
Yeah.
We got you know how you used to put the baby on the bed?
Yeah.
And in the middle?
Yeah.
And every couple of minutes you'd make sure they weren't rolling off?
Right.
Now they got something you put them in.
Yep.
and then you pick that up.
Yep.
And then when you move them,
Yep.
they theoretically don't wake up.
That's called a pack and play, sir.
Oh yeah, the pack and play. We got
Pack
one.
and play. You got to have the pack and play.
Yeah.
I think she got about 3 pack and plays, so you can have different colors. And
They get any baby seats for the car because you need an MIT degree to put those together.
I don't think there were. I don't think there were, but there's a lot of stuff. I was thinking these baby supply companies, whatever you want to, they must have like this whole brain trust of young graduates that say, okay, we need 3 new products for 2023.
I can tell you.
Get on in here and tell us what we're going to sell them.
Well, I
sell
can give
these
you one.
suckers
There's
next
always
year.
the difference between the first baby shower and then the rest of the baby showers. Because the first one, you think, well, I need this diaper container. No, you just throw it in the garbage. It's just that easy. So we got all that stuff with the first one. Thinking, well, this is great. I'm going to use this forever.
Well, the
And then you
littlest
never
one
use it
in
again.
my circle just got a bit. What do you call the thing that goes around your neck? A bib?
A onesie?
Yeah.
No, a bib for eating, but it's made out of some material that I don't know what it is, fiberglass or something. It's got a trough in it. so the kid's shoveling food into the
not
pie
getting it on
hole,
its legs in the floor.
and everything
then.
that falls down, she drops. She just catches in the
there
trough.
you go.
I don't think Adrian got one of those. I might have to go to the baby
I think
store
it's
and
rubber.
send her a late-minute gift.
So you just rinse her out, bing, bang, boom. It's nothing.
Well, do they make those in adult size?
Oh, we should all get them.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Our niece Ellie, who's graduating from St. Thomas in 3 weeks, went out. She was out. She came out with her mom, and we were recalling stories of this kid when she was like 2, a year and a half. She could eat spaghetti without getting it on her. She was the neatest eater ever.
Wow.
And Katie was telling the story that one day she's talking to her mom. She's talking to her mom, and this incredible screaming is taking place, and Katie says,
You mean like that?
Yeah, not like that. And Katie's yes, right. And Katie says, "What's that?" And she says, "Oh, Ellie got something on her shirt." She was like at a year and a half, and so it's
Did you see the cherry blossoms?
no, they're gone, long gone.
Oh, they are.
End of March. Yeah.
Was it nice weather compared
Yeah,
to
it
here?
was 70 something.
Yeah.
And the youth was out.
Yeah.
The youth were out in town, man. They were at the bars, and there's an area we were at that's got a Ballston is what it's an area, but it's not a town. But there's a bunch of bars and hotels and stuff around, and people out, young couples out pushing a baby around at 8 o'clock at night, and the bars were full. So that was a good sign.
Okay, what do you think of your ball club?
I think when Buxton plays are good.
Yeah.
And Correa, the pitching's, the bullpen's going to break your heart here.
Yes, it will.
Quite often.
Where'd we get the Winder kid from?
Provis and
one of their
Gladden.
draft choices.
He was a draft choice.
Seventh
Okay.
rounder.
Provis and Gladden had a great point yesterday. This Tampa series was the first time they had decent weather or climate
Conditions.
to bat in.
Yeah, that's true.
They haven't had any
they
weather
had
at all.
They had a 170-degree day at home, but that was with a 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing.
Right.
I heard him say that same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they're probably right. But that's, pitching had been so dominant for the first month of the year. But, the lineup, are we seeing the phase out of the big man?
I think so.
Thank God.
Doesn't it have to happen? It has to happen.
Because here's the problem. He's in shape. Mm-hmm. The best shape he's going to get in.
This is it. Exactly.
This is it.
Yep.
This is the best shape he's going to get in. And he still can't hit the fastball.
No.
So, and you're so much better. Not only are you better with a rise in a lineup,
Right.
you're better with him at first.
Yes, you are.
You can move better.
I was having a debate with a very avid Twins follower, and I said the mistake the front office made was they didn't keep Crone and trade Sano, and they did the opposite. They just let him walk.
They
Didn't
let Crone walk, yes.
Because Crone, he has just as much power as Miguel, and he's a hell of a first
He was a
baseman.
good first baseman.
Are you just stuck with Sano? Because
One
I
more
think
year.
he's got one more year.
but nobody take him.
Well, you could get rid of him, but probably a double-A prospect or something,
if you're lucky. Yeah.
I mean,
I believe
they're in no hurry to bring him back from a very minor leg injury.
I believe that it's an option year for next year because I was looking it up over the weekend.
Was it?
I think so. So it's a $3 million buyout and a $14 million player option. I think it's roughly around that.
He's got no chance.
No chance.
But they'll, last year he was pretty helpless, and then he had a few weeks, so he's okay. But I don't know if we're ever going to get there. I just think they're a better lineup without him. And now you got Kirilloff coming back, too. Mm-hmm. Kirilloff's a better first baseman than he is and will hit eventually if he doesn't hurt his wrist every time he takes a good full swing. But
how concerning should that be, his wrist?
I don't know. You play more ball than I do, but wrists are very important.
Yes, they are.
And swinging the bat.
Yes, they
especially at a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. So, yeah, I don't know. That's... I was trying to think of a equivalent, but best thing that happened to him, though, the last week, the German doesn't look helpless. The German is
playing pretty well.
The German's gotten some hits.
He had a good weekend.
Just helpless.
Yeah.
He hit a home run to left center. I almost fell over and dropped. And I was
but
talking.
all batters north of the Mason-Dixon line have been playing in lousy weather.
Yes, that's true. But he was coming off a 2-year slump, too. So he was great in 19, and he hadn't been good since. Now, my son, Mr. Baseball, Chris, says one reason you don't want to get rid of him is if they get rid of the shift, he'll get 25 more hits a year.
That's a good point.
Because nobody hits that hard two-hopper out to the second baseman playing in right field.
Is that in play? Are they thinking about doing that?
It's gone. The shift's gone. It's whether they're going to let them keep their feet on the infield or not. But it's going to be 2 and 2 on each side of the. It'll be interesting to see what they try to do to, if they take the left fielder and try to. I don't think they're going to let them do any of that stuff. They're going to. They've announced that they're going to really reduce shifting next year.
Then Joe wants back in Mauer.
Yeah.
The shift killed him at times.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because he was the easiest guy to play in history because all the ground balls went one way and all the fly balls went the other.
Yep.
So.
It seems like the Timberwolves have been done for about a month.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
I was thinking that if the Wild get through the first round, nobody will even remember the Wolves made the playoffs this year.
When was the game? Saturday?
Friday night.
Friday night.
So here's my premise. Would they have been better off losing the 2 play-in games and never having a playoff series than offering up the most monumental choke in NBA playoff history? It was a record when they lost their second 10-point lead in the playoffs, and then they did it just for good measure. They did it a third time. No other team had lost in a playoff series more than once.
Well, they wanted to give the home fans an encore.
How was the crowd? I couldn't tell. I was watching in a room without the sound.
I did the same thing because I was watching it on my phone and we had something else on the TV, so I didn't have the volume.
They couldn't
up.
have been as manic as they were for Game 4.
A-Rod was pretty pumped up at times, though. He was there in the front row.
What a weenie!
What's he do? Just fly in for a playoff game?
Yeah,
I know. He's buying a place.
Yeah, he bought a
town.
place in town.
Well, I am sure they're very upset about it because they were ready to. They were hoping this would help them to kick off the "We Need a New Arena" campaign. But this has kind of set things back.
They don't need a new arena.
Nope, we got plenty of them.
We got a lot of
that
arenas.
doesn't mean they're going to stop.
Didn't we just renovate Target Center?
Yeah, same thing happened in Phoenix, though. They spent a lot on a renovation, and about 2 weeks later, they started saying we need a new arena.
Do you know that they want a new ballpark too?
Who?
The Diamondbacks out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And that can't be
Now, where do
20
they
years
wanna-
old.
Oh
Is
yeah,
it?
it is. Well,
Is it?
It's the original one they played in.
Okay.
So they
Yeah,
started.
but it was
in,
state of the art when they built it.
Yeah, they started in '97.
They got a pool.
God, they've been
They
around
got a
since
pool.
97.
They do have a pool.
They got a pool.
As the only pool owner in this group, it's been a great pool year because my pool guy hasn't even called and asked him if I wanted to open yet.
Right.
Yeah, I was already fighting him, saying, "No, give me a couple of more weeks. I don't
Wait
need
till
it open."
June.
Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't even heard from him yet.
I'll never forget when someone came up to us at the fair and asked if the guy driving the lawnmower into your pool was a real story years ago.
Oh, yeah. A young lad, early on the job.
Yep. Made a little stir, a little error there.
Drove her right in.
No, he was pushing it.
Oh.
And one of our bushes that was along that side of the pool, one of the branches like ticked him or something, and he lost his concentration, and it took off in there.
Yeah.
But it was a double
Yeah.
sweeper with the big, double size.
2 decks. It had 2 decks.
Double sweeper.
Double sweeper, 2 decks.
My favorite part of that story is I'm looking in there. They hauled it out by the time I got home, and there's some oil on the water. But I said, maybe we survived. Maybe nothing. Maybe it didn't do anything to the liner. The next day, the water's down 7 inches.
Because the liner got ripped?
It's going underneath the liner and going down into the groundwater. And I said, I didn't. I guess
I don't think we're
I guess
unscathed.
it did have a turn off the water. Turn off the system.
Oh, my
Yes,
God.
that is a true story. But anyway, yeah, that was an embarrassment, our Wolves. But we're going to have A-Rod. And then we got Quasi Adolfo Spielman,
Yep.
new GM of the team.
I loved how Vikings Twitter was going nutso on Thursday.
But then the defenders came out. Then about a day later,
Yep.
he knew what he was doing.
I'm not a draft guy.
No, I'm not.
I'm not a draft guy.
Oh, I love the draft.
Who'd they pick?
We took the safety from the
guy with the yellow
national
Georgia
champion
Bulldogs.
Georgia
He
Bulldogs.
had the bad hair. He got
Yeah.
the yellow hair.
Although I heard him interviewed, he's a pretty articulate
be
young
sharp
man.
kid.
Yeah.
But
Is he a
Joe, we
safety?
had the 12th pick, and we decided to take the 30, so we traded down. We did the down trade.
So you're saving money.
Yes, but then they ended up getting so many choices. They're like 12th of the amount of money spent, but that they're going to spend. But
Did you guys happen to see?
here's the problem.
Oh, here we
Let
go.
me talk about the problem.
Here we go.
Metz's, Adolfo Spielman, I call him now, because he did the same thing Spielman would have. But the stuff about join us, we want him to come out here and join us in the dream.
Oh, I didn't see
Did you
that.
see the whole
Really?
thing about the dream?
We have
We're
a dream now?
We're dreamers out here.
Oh.
It's football. Those are concussions. Those aren't dreams.
Those are nightmares.
Yes,
What does Joe call it? The birds or the musical
Get
notes?
the musical notes above your head.
yes. You're you go to some football player who's, has bad knees and a couple of concussions and say, are you here to join us in the dream? No. I'm here to play the most brutal game ever invented and get paid as much as I can because I know I'm going to be dead at 48. That's why.
That's a hell of a dream, isn't it?
Yes, right.
Do you want to know my personal favorite moment from the NFL draft over the weekend?
What?
The first round, gentlemen, is always announced by the commissioner.
Yes.
Each pick is always.
Did we boo him each time, as always?
Yes, we did that, but he was egging it on too. Like, come on, Vegas, you can do better
Not
than
because
that.
the New Yorkers are.
The second round, each team had an invited celebrity. Some had former players, some had stars that are connected to the team, what have you. The Vikings had former player Ed Marinero come out on stage.
Yeah, I heard Ed was in town.
Was there a kerfuffle?
Well, it's funny because each one was allowed, a couple of extra seconds to hype up the crowd. Kyle Brandt, he's NFL Network, came out in his Bills clothing. He was great. He was really good. Ed went on and on and on to the point where the stagehand had to come out and point to the card, and you could hear her go, read the card. As in, they gave him the hook because he just.
Was Ed giving him his own history? Or what?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
He thought he was there to make a long
I
presentation.
don't know if he was or not, but he did go on. Apparently, he's an actor now.
He
always has
was
been.
an actor.
Yeah.
Now he's not an actor because he.
No, he's in something new that they
Oh,
were
really?
promoting. Yeah.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know
So
that.
anyway, but yeah, it was pretty funny because the stagehand had to come and go. Read the card. We need to get going
we
here.
got to get going.
It was 3.5 minutes.
Oh,
It kept
really?
going on.
Patrick, do you realize he watches the draft?
And you know what? There's never been less reason to watch the draft because all you got to do is look at your phone.
Yeah.
Why do you? And sometimes there's a guy on the phone who's giving you the picks before they do.
Yeah,
and plus you don't know who 90% of these guys are anyway.
Few of most of the first rounders, just from watching college football.
But
the only thing I liked about the NFL this year is they didn't feel obligated to take some mediocre quarterbacks in the top of the draft.
Right.
So
okay, I'm going to let you off the hook a little bit.
Why is that?
Did you, by watching it, do you mean you were glued or it was just on?
It was on.
Okay.
It was on. You're doing stuff with the kids and dinner and whatnot. You're
Joe,
monitoring.
They had to add about 5 years ago. They had to add a third day though, so they could
Milk it.
first round.
Was it held at the U.S. Bank Stadium?
Vegas?
Vegas, baby.
Well, did you see how crowded U.S. Bank was?
They had 5,000.
Yeah, the Vikings had their own draft party.
And got the hell boot out of them, right?
Yes.
When they started. But, I looked at the crowd. I saw some crowd shots, and I said, you know what I said? What's wrong with you people?
Well, that's probably what I would have said.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Paying $14 for a beer.
Right.
When you can be home popping one. If you're that interested, just watch it.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you
Be
people?
part of the action, Patrick.
What action?
They're people with a dream.
They're people with the dream. They share the dream. They share the dream. I don't know. Fans are just really.
They're an interesting breed, aren't we?
It's like, they're like readers. Pains in the ass.
I am anxious to see what that wild crowd will be like tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the crowd. This isn't the old Met Center bar jacket crowd.
Oh, I know.
But I think there'll be more of those. I don't think you're going to have mom, dad, and the 12-year-old and 10-year-old from Woodbury.
Not on a
tonight.
school night.
You're going to have true fans who are going to be pounding on the glass every call that goes against our boys and demanding justice for the home team. It's going to be rowdy. And God willing, 2 overtimes and let it end at 1:30 in the morning.
Because
How's
you're
that?
not on deadline.
Yeah, I'm not working it.
Are you going?
No, as luck would have it, it doesn't fall on any of my column rating days. I can't do it anymore, Joe. I cannot write on that kind of deadline. Our deadline's now like 10:30 at night.
Well, you wouldn't make it tonight.
No,
No.
I'm not. I don't have that quick mind anymore to come up with something snarky and then run it the whole time.
That's because you always got to think you got to be snarky.
Well, that's his job.
No.
That's not
If
his
they're
job.
winning, we can celebrate that. But still, it's, I don't know. We're going to have probably 5 people there, so they don't need me. I'll watch it, though. I think
will,
I
too.
like the boys. I like the boys to
I'll
win.
watch Twins at Baltimore.
Oh, 6:05. I forgot to check the weather in Baltimore.
Baltimore doesn't have much of a
If
club
I
this year,
had
do they?
paid
No.
more attention to their schedule, I would have stuck out there a couple of more
Oh,
days.
sure.
And gone to Baltimore, ate crab cakes, and gone to a couple of ball games.
I've yet to go to that ballpark. Oh, boy, it's a bluebird day in Baltimore.
Oh, good.
72 right now, high of 77, and no precipitation.
Wow. What's going
Would you
on?
take that over this weather, Joe?
Yes, this is terrible. This
Supposed
is
to be
just
tomorrow,
terrible.
though. Is it 60 tomorrow or the next day?
Are you talking here or
Here.
Yeah, it's supposed to warm up throughout the week. Speaking of
Tomorrow 57, Wednesday 61.
Wow, and we're supposed to be happy, right?
Thursday 64, Friday 65, Saturday 67. Next Monday, a week from today, they're advertising 72.
But is there any not a lot of rain in the forecast? I don't believe either. Which is, we've had enough of that stuff too.
I did see somebody on social media write, "These Mayflowers better be pretty bleeping exceptional this year."
That's right. That is true.
Speaking of fans, Pat, have you seen the video of the Cincinnati Reds fan catching the foul ball with his bare hand while bottle feeding his child?
No, I've
and the
heard
other-
about it. They should sign him
Oh.
since they're now 3-19.
Boy, are they awful.
Well, they wanted to be
They
the
did,
dummies.
yeah. But that's such a great video. He just
Didn't we have one of those at Target Field? But the baby wasn't feeding the baby. It was
maybe he was holding the baby.
One guy at a couple of years ago.
I think I remember
You
that.
get 2 of these
Target
a year.
Field. Yeah.
You're saying no big deal?
It's not a big deal. You get 2 a year.
Yeah, but not dropping the baby is pretty good.
One of them you
Look,
usually
to
drop the kid.
To have the concentration to not drop the baby.
Right.
Did he drop the bottle or what? Did he
No,
just stick it?
everything intact. Bottle feeding
Well,
the
how'd he
baby like
catch it?
this. He caught it with his bare hand like
yeah,
this.
but the bottle's not the baby. You can't have the baby in the bottle in one hand.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Well, you got the baby over the arm.
Put the kid the head right here.
Right, the two legs on each side of the arm.
And then the kid's doing his own sucking. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
He's holding
the bottle while you're kind of holding the
that's
bottom.
Right.
Yeah.
That's easily the highlight of the red season, isn't it?
By far.
Telling you, it's weird.
Oh, but what counts is it is probably well over 1 million hits.
Easily.
Hits on the TV. Because I was watching some baseball tonight or something, and they said, and we'll show you the guy catching the ball with the baby. And I said, I'm not that interested to sit through a 4-minute commercial. So.
When are the Twins home next? This Friday? I think they're going all week, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll come home to some decent weather for a change.
I got to tell you the best part of the flight.
Yeah? Not wearing a mask.
Yeah. 1:40 to get there.
Yeah.
2:05 to get home. We were like 20 minutes early getting there, and 40 minutes early getting home.
Did you leave from the main terminal or the other one?
Not the main
one. Not the main.
You left from the
I
main.
left the main.
Not
We
the
left
not
from
the
the
one
main.
that's not the main.
Yeah, I used to experiment with other airlines over on the at the other terminal. And flew one of those for quite a few years, but have kind of backed off on that and started to pay the premium price to fly on the other one. So
The Twins,
because they actually have planes,
that's important. That's important. The Twins come home for a 9-game homestand. We got the A's, the Stros, and then the Guardians to wrap
The
around.
Guardians.
Guardians.
First Guardians series.
The
It'll be
Guardians.
great.
The Guardians.
The Guardians are being received, I think, with less vehement disapproval than the Commanders. Why didn't they call themselves the Commandos?
I don't
Wouldn't
know.
have that been a better nickname? Then they could have called.
Or just kept it the Washington
I
football
would have
team.
gone Cleveland Spiders, by the way.
Yes.
I would have too. But well, apparently, Stephen, married to my niece, big Redskins fan, Washington sports fan, said that everybody's still calling it the football team out
sure.
there, or the commies, one of the two, or the commies. But they're not. Everybody hates the Commanders as a nickname. They also hate Daniel Snyder.
Sure.
The rumor is that Lerner's trying to sell the Nationals so he can buy the Redskins or the.
Oh,
whatever.
really?
I did see some Redskins.
Is that a good baseball town?
Yeah, they're doing okay. They're doing fine.
Have you been in that park?
Yeah, 4 or 5 times.
You like it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's built at this old naval yard, and there wasn't much around it. There's more stuff being built around it now. But they won a World Series, so they got some free time here. They don't.
Is it near where Griffin Stadium was?
Oh no, I don't think so. Griffith Stadium is DC Stadium. You were in that one, right?
I don't think
The
so.
old one?
The only one I was in is RFK.
Yeah, the old Griffith
Yeah,
Stadium.
yeah.
They ripped, you and I were, they
Right.
ripped that down when Calvin left.
Right.
Calvin wanted, the main reason he left is he wanted the new stadium to be built out in Maryland or Virginia or someplace. And Calvin favored the demographic out in that area, being his demographic.
We know his
study-
demographic
yeah,
studies.
his demographic studies, and they put it in an area where the demographic studies were not the same. So that's why he wanted to get out of town when they planned to build the new stadium. But I think the second coming of the Senators played in the old ballpark a couple of times, 2-3 years before they
Really? In
got
the
their new
original
stadium.
Griffith Stadium?
Yeah, until they got RFK.
Yeah.
RFK, which was DC Stadium originally.
Yeah.
I was in that. You were in it for some Viking football games, right?
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
The bleachers would move, Chris. They moved. They'd be over there. It'd be like the 50-yard line on one side of the field was basically portable bleachers that they brought in, and so these were the prime seats.
Wow.
But they'd be bouncing up in the air when they were.
Now, RFK's been torn down, right?
I don't know if they ripped it
Where
down.
do the
I
Redskins
think they
play?
might have.
FedEx
Redskins
something or
out
other, right?
in Maryland.
Oh,
and,
okay. Not the Redskins.
It's terrible.
The Commanders.
It's terrible. Daniel Snyder got it, bought it. They had 75,000 seats out there, and he put 15,000 more seats in it, made it 90, took away all the aisles, squeezed everybody together, and then the crowds have gone to hell.
Yep.
And the traffic getting in and out of it is just ungodly.
In September of 2019, Events DC officials announced plans to demolish the stadium due to maintenance costs. Demolition is expected to begin sometime in 2022 and cost right around $20 million.
To tear it down.
So it's still upright, but they're going to tear it down this year.
I covered the Mexico-Norway World Cup soccer game there on opening day weekend.
What's that square for?
Yes, that's where the European soccer writers abused me and my buddies for our lack of soccer knowledge. For good reason, I might add.
God, I love that.
Joe.
What was the square?
He was asking that in front of the European
I
writers.
know what this semicircle is. That's the penalty area, right? Yeah. No, I wanted to know what the circle was.
That's what it was, yeah.
I wanted to know what the circle was.
God.
The crease. I could figure out the crease.
Because they were also sitting in front of these guys.
Yes, for better seats. 6 morons writing. We had to write cutting edge columns on soccer. Huh? What always amazed me is that you would read these European things and they would assess the play of each player. Yeah. And break down. How do you know?
Did you ever cover the kicks?
A couple of 3 times, but it was the great thing about the kicks is they had the same guys for 6 years, so you knew who was playing. This team,
no,
who the hell are these guys? Yeah. I just can't. They're drawing their crowd, they're doing fine, but I just can't imagine caring. Can you?
No, I could not. Mm-hmm. It's just not for me.
I have one question about the local soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
They're called the Minnesota United.
Yes.
When is the season?
Pretty much endless.
I was going to say, is it always the season? They played when it was 20 below.
Yes, they were playing in December because that was kind of pandemic caused, right? Now this year we got the World Cup, Joe, so that's kind of interrupted things. I think that's why we started so early, right?
I don't
started
know.
playing regular
I think you
games
might be
in
right,
March.
yeah.
But here's the thing. Right in the middle of the summer, even in a non-World Cup year, Joe, they take a 3-week break for international competition.
Well, for Pete's sake.
They interrupt the season when you want to. If you want to ever go to a game, this is when you want to go to a game in the middle of the summer.
When don't they play?
I would say December and January.
Okay.
But this year
they played in January.
This year they did us the favor of bringing poor Honduras.
About 2 people almost died.
Bringing Honduras into town in February 4th.
Some Honduran guys got frostbite.
120 below zero. Let's play soccer. I don't know.
Although they were voted, Joe, the best craft beer spot of all the major venues.
I vow to go to a game this year just to see what it's like.
Oh, yeah. I went to a couple of first year.
Yeah.
That's where I got in the train.
Oh, yeah.
I went to the, I was going to do the.
I remember that was an adventure.
I was going to do to the visiting St. Paul. So I went to the soccer game for a half of it, I think, and then got on the train and went down to the Saints game and watched a few innings. And then I was riding the train back.
You had an experience.
About the same time that the soccer crowd was getting out. And I had parked here, and rode the train. Yeah, that's where the gentleman who looked like he was familiar with crime came.
Not to profile.
No shirt to profile, but no shirt to me is a tip-off.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, tip-off.
Yeah.
You got to have a...
You shouldn't be able to ride without a shirt.
You're going to take public transportation.
Not a lot of etiquette on the train.
You got to have a shirt if you're going to take. But this guy was a muscled fella. He was showing off his muscles, but he lit this thing on this piece of paper on fire and wanted to get the smoke alarm going.
Oh, that's fun.
And I said, okay, Patrick, you got 2 choices here. You can keep your mouth shut, and the smoke alarm's going to go off, and you'll be here for an hour. Or you can tell him to stop doing that and maybe get shot or killed or knifed or something. I told him to stop doing that.
What did he do?
Called me several filthy names and then left.
So you won.
I won.
You won.
I can take the filthy names.
Yeah,
I
that's
just didn't want to
nothing.
be there another hour. Or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delay solved. Boom.
But the idea that they decided to make 6 stops on that part of University Avenue once you get beyond Snelling was absurd.
It is not a
Absurd.
practical means of transportation if you want to get somewhere.
No. And as you told me, the new one, which we're,
Oh, God.
by the way, we're destroying all new areas of downtown Minneapolis to build this damn thing. You told me it's going to, if
I
somebody
wanted to
in
take it,
Chanhassen
yeah.
gets on it, it's going to take an hour and a half.
If I were to want to come here, get on the western edge of Eden Prairie, it would take me about 2 hours to get to this building.
Well, the drive to Eden Prairie alone would set you back from where you are now.
right. Oh, man.
What a boondoggle.
Well, it's terrible. It'll never be afforded. It'll never pay for itself.
No, God, no.
It's
No,
free
God,
now,
no. Yeah.
basically.
So
And, by the way, 212, greatest highway improvement in Minnesota history.
I approve.
Greatest highway. You used to go to Norwood and take you 18 stop signs. Now there's one. Mm-hmm. It's great. But they should have spent that money making that road longer.
Well, they are. They're expanding it as we speak.
So they're throwing that on top of the $5 bill. Is it $5 bill now
I think so.
for the?
I was asked or requested that I bring up one subject with you two today from the resident traffic expert that's been affiliated with this program for some time. Mm-hmm. Patrick, are you aware of the 2020 documentary film Class Action Park?
No.
Kenny told me about it today, and I know this will ring a bell with you because it did for me. The documentary subject is the American amusement park Action Park, which was located in Vernon Township, New Jersey, and was known for the popularity it had among locals and infamous for the poor safety record of the attractions located on its grounds. Mm-hmm. Basically, the film was about how people almost died going on their rides. Mm-hmm. And in fact, this was the subject of a Dan Le Batard show episode in which they talked about all the various incidents, and then ESPN came in and said, stop talking about people dying at amusement parks.
Yeah, there's a certain point that you probably, I don't know. You can't tell Le Batard what to do. So
No, you probably can't.
I didn't. Oh, that was before he left.
Before he
ESPN.
left ESPN, yes.
What is his outlet now? His own?
I think it's his own, if I'm not mistaken.
Guy's a genius.
Oh, man. His show when he ran on nights was pretty damn funny, I will
We
say.
carried it, didn't we?
Yes, we
yes,
did.
we did.
Yes,
and
we
then
did.
carried it in daytime too.
Oh.
Well, yeah. Anyway, he's a very clever fellow.
Let's go outside.
We ready?
Yeah.
Is it time to go to the bank already?
Let
Yeah.
me see. Is there any big sporting thing happening that we're forgetting here? Probably not.
Well, this week it's going to warm up.
I'd
If
hit
I
up-
wanted to get out and do some golf, Joe, where should I go?
Giants.
we gonna
Ridge.
have the garage door opener?
We don't know.
We're
We have a.
That has to be on Friday
It has to be a Friday.
because the 170-degree day we had was on a Saturday.
That's
so
right. That didn't count. But yeah, the weather's warming up at Giants Ridge, home to the Legend and the Quarry, two of the greatest golf courses in the country, not to mention Minnesota. But it's also becoming a family destination vacation spot. It's got hiking and biking and nature trails and lift serve, mountain biking, golf, lodging, dining. It's fantastic. Between June 4 and I think August 29, there's a great summer deal. Play the Legend and the Quarry on the same day with lunch on them at the Wakuta Grill overlooking one of the greatest views of in all of northern Minnesota. They'll put together groups for you with your friends, your family members, groups of 8. It's really a premier golfing destination recognized by a number of premier national golf publications. It's find out more at giantsridge.com, where you can also see drone flyovers of the course.
And those are cool to watch
Very
online.
cool. giantsridge.com.
It's Reavers here for Josh Arnold. Mr. Money Talk is what he's called around these parts. Josh has been an investment consultant since 1978. This extensive career has given him the experience needed to manage your money in both up and down markets. Josh provides independent, personalized investment planning to individuals and small businesses, including retirement plans. Josh has been doing this for quite some time, and the thing that separates him from the rest is he will always give you straight talk and never sugar-coated advice. When you invest for yourself or for your small business with Josh, you get the same straight talk that you would expect from Mr. Money Talk. You also get an investment consultant who will work proactively with you to create a strategy that fits your goals. You can also hear him at the end of Garage Logic every Tuesday and Thursday with a full report. Give him a call today for that free 48-minute financial consultation at 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. Or for more information, just visit his website, josharnoldinvestmentconsultant.com.
A beautiful lawn is just a click away. Hello, sports fans. You schedule that free in-person lawn care analysis and estimate right now at professionalturf.com. You do that, ProTurf will send a highly trained and experienced service tech to your home who will analyze your lawn's condition, then customize a 3 to 5 step fertilizer and weed control application plan that's environmentally safe and guaranteed for superior results. A beautiful, healthy lawn free of crabgrass, dandelions, and broadleaf weeds. Locally owned, Professional Turf, they've been serving the Twin Cities since 1982. Schedule your free in-person lawn care estimate today at professionalturf.com.